I was asked by a friend of mine, what is my reasoning for picking Christianity over all the other religions? And this is my answer. There's two parts to this. The first one is the fact that Christ is the most written about person in the history of human history. There is nobody written more about than him. I mean, you're talking about the Gospels today have over 5,800 manuscripts or pieces of manuscripts that date back to the 1st century, all the way to the 10th century. And they all agree to an infinitesimal degree, to a point that there is no document of antiquity that even comes close to the New Testament Gospels talking about Jesus. There are other writers outside that source that speak about Jesus, but they either speak that he's like working for the wrong side, or they say that the body is evil, or the agnostics, the apocrypha, all those they may speak negatively about it, but they still talk about it. So that's one of my main pieces of evidence that convinced me that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. Not only that, it's just that there's too close to the date of time of when it was written. Like most, autobiographies are written within a couple thousand years of each other. His was written in the 1st century when he died. First it was oral tradition, and then it became written down when all the eyewitnesses started passing away. They had to make it a point to write everything down. So that's my main thing. That we have that plethora of information about Jesus, and they all agree. So the second part to that is the resurrection. The fact that there is no rebuttal for the resurrection whatsoever. That they've come up with the whole hallucination theory, which that's been debunked. I mean, you're talking about a whole generation of people who are hallucinating. I don't think so. And then the 500 people all hallucinating at different times. No, that's never happened. So that's been debunked. And the fact, or they said that the eyewitnesses lied about Jesus being resurrected. Oh, that's been debunked, because they all were tortured and killed for what they seen, not for what they believe. And we know that human psychology works in a matter of no one will die for something they know to be a lie. And Watergate was proof of that. But that tells me right there that these guys knew that Jesus was Lord, and they knew no matter how much pain and suffering they had to go through, not only will they get their reward in heaven, but they know that it's worth it, because why would you go against the one who can affect you in this life and the afterlife? You might as well let the person kill you once. You don't want to die and torture twice, especially when the other one is for eternity. Yeah, no one's come up with a rebuttal for the resurrection. Jesus' tomb was empty, while every other person who represents a religion, their tomb is full. So those are the two pieces of evidence that convince me that Christ is Lord. And trust me, I have looked into the other religions, and I have found them lacking. And a lot of them inconsistent. And a lot of them some of them, very few, very strange. Even to the point, like, if you live them out to their logical conclusion, will leave you probably in an insane asylum. But most people don't live out their religious beliefs anyway, or their world views for that matter. Hence the relative mindset, or the atheistic mindset, or the I'll even say Islamic mindset. They only adhere to like parts of it, or they'll only follow parts of it. But if they were to follow their religious leaders or their religious doctrine up to the letter, then they would probably fail at it. They would fail miserably at it. Or if they were to succeed at it, then they would be looked at as very horrible people in some of those religions, if not suicidal in that matter. But y'all have a blessed day.